Hey guys, my name is Steven and this is Lefty's Place. For the first top 5 series in my channel, I wanted to do a breakdown of the top 5 players at each position in Miami Heat history. We're going to work from point guard and go all the way to center. And I am so excited to get this started because I am a huge Heat fan. Obviously, you guys know that. And you're going to just feel that coming out in this episode. And the episode's coming up. This is going to be awesome. Number 5, Gary the Glove Payton. If you guys watched basketball in the 90s, you obviously know how great of a player Gary Payton is. And unfortunately, he was never able to win a ring in his prime. However, he did join the Heat in 2006. Well, technically the 2005 season and going into 2006, and helped them win a championship. And he was actually one of the biggest pieces for that championship win because Game 3, when the Heat were down 0-2 in the series, the Heat were down. They had a huge deficit going into the fourth quarter. Obviously, D. Wade did his thing and brought them back. But had it not been for Gary Payton and that late game-winning 3, the Heat probably don't win their first final series. Because if you go down 3-0, we all know there's no coming back from that. No team ever has. So, yeah. Now, Gary Payton's stats during his Heat tenure aren't eye-popping, with just about 6.5 points per game, 3 assists, like 2 rebounds, and just under a steal per game. But it was the veteran leadership he brought off the bench that was the most valuable. And that is exactly why he makes the back end of our list at number 5. Number 4, Jason White Chocolate Williams. So now at number 4, this is easily one of the more exciting players to watch on this list, Jason White Chocolate Williams. He's obviously the most famous for those elbow passes and being able to wow crowds with his exciting playmaking abilities. And that is exactly what he brought to the Heat when he came in the 2005-2006 season. He was a huge part of that Shaq era and had a great partnership with Wade in the backcourt. And as you can see from his stats, he contributed really well to that championship team as well. He averaged just under 11 points per game, 5 assists, 2 rebounds, and a steal per game. So he contributed in a bunch of different areas of the game. Rio! Number 3, Mario Chalmers! For those that were lucky enough to watch Chalmers play, you all know the up and down roller coaster ride we would go with him in every single game. It's like, yeah, Rio, no, Rio. It was like that literally every game. But in the end, it's awesome to see how the second round pick that we drafted in 2008 turned into a starting point guard on a 2-time championship winning team, and we needed him. As you can see in the final series against the Thunder and even against San Antonio, Rio was a huge part of that run with us. As he did, like, and when you look at the stats, you don't think like, oh, he was huge, but his defense and his 3-point shooting at all was very important. A couple other notable things that Rio did in his career was he made the All-Rookie second team, and in his rookie season, he was 4th in the NBA in steals with 2 per game. He was right there alongside with Wade, and it ended up working out perfectly. He ended up actually being the better draft pick in that 2008 class. Obviously, when you match that with Michael Beasley, there's not much you need to do to get better than that. Number 2, Goran the Dragon Dragic. All right, so number 2 on the list is personally my favorite point guard on this list. That is Goran Dragic. I've been lucky enough to have him on my team for the past 6 seasons now. He's obviously still on our team and joined us back in 2015. He was originally supposed to be that pair to go with, or I guess that third player to go with Wade and Bosh, Luol Deng, that team we had that year. It was supposed to be something special. Unfortunately, obviously what happened with Bosh happened, but even with that, Goran Dragic has carved out a great Heat career, and is personally one of my favorite Heat players ever. Definitely, like the Dragon, like he's such a strong player. He gives you what you need every night. Obviously, he's not a perfect player, but he'll shoot the three. He'll drive it. He's one of the toughest players I've ever watched, especially at that size. Like you wouldn't expect a guy like that to just bulldoze like a 6'10" center and get an and one, but Dragic does not shy away from any of that. And that is why he gets number 2. Some of the notable, I guess, awards for him in his career. He did win the third team He did get on the third team All NBA list back when he was in Phoenix in 2014. But when he was with the Heat in 2018, he did make his first All-Star appearance, and definitely well deserved because he is a consummate pro. All right, so now before we get to the number 1 spot, I do want to give a few honorable mentions. Starting with Norris Cole. He was the backup point guard to Mario Chalmers during the Big 3 era, and he was a solid backup, like defensive point guard, give you a couple points here and there. And obviously winning the 2 rings gave him a little boost in that legacy, but he just didn't do enough to get him into that 5th spot. Same thing with the next guy on our list, Brian Shaw. He averaged solid numbers, 8 points, 4 rebounds, 4 assists throughout his career here, only 3 seasons. But didn't really do anything of significance, so that's why obviously he's not on the list either. And then last, we also have Sherman Douglas, who kind of broke out in his rookie and second year in the league with Miami, and that is why his numbers looked as good as they do at 16 points per game and 8 assists per game, and almost 2 steals. But after that, he kind of fell off and nothing really happened. He did only play 3 seasons, so that's why he doesn't get the nod over Gary Payton as well. And at number 1, Tim the Crossover King Hardaway. Easily the best point guard in Miami Heat history, and it's not even close. As much as I would love Dragic to, inch a little closer to Hardaway, it's just not possible. Hardaway is easily the only superstar point guard the Heat have ever had in their history, and when we got him back in 1996, it was a big turning point for the entire organization, because you matched him up with Alonzo Mourning, and now all of a sudden you had one of the best 1-2 punches in the league. Now, prior to Hardaway coming to the Heat, there was a lot of noise being said that Hardaway just didn't have it anymore. The coach at Golden State, before he came to the Heat, said that he just didn't think Hardaway could handle the rigors of an NBA season because of the ACL surgery he had the year before, or in 93, I believe it was. He had a surgery in 93, and they just didn't think he had it. He clearly proved them wrong, because in the 96-97 season, Hardaway finished 4th in MVP voting and averaging 20 points and 8 assists per game. Huge numbers, and he also made the first team All-NBA squad. So definitely huge accomplishments that year, and throughout his entire Heat tenure, he was a huge piece. Hardaway also made the All-NBA second team in 98 and 99. So to have a point guard that was consistently considered one of the best in his position throughout those years, like it was like a good 5-year stretch that he was one of the best point guards in the league. Alright guys, so that's going to wrap it up for my top 5 point guards in Miami Heat history. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and if you have any disagreements, please leave your comment in the comment section, and I'll be more than happy to reply to you guys. I want to debate with you and see what you guys think. Have a great day.